Welcome to episode 36, season 2 of the Bulls Recap Podcast. I'm Joe Colley of the Chicago Sun-Times. You can obviously read me in the Sun-Times. You can follow me on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, at @JColleyHoops. For the last probably 10 days during this Western Conference Finals, maybe 2 weeks, every day I was checking. I don't have tiki-taki, but I was hoping that there'd be a dance video with Jared McCain from the Oklahoma City Thunder and my next guest, Joel Lorenzi, fresh off of the Western Conference Finals. He covered the slugfest. Dude, why no tiki-taki dance video with your boy McCain? I saw your story.
I'll leave that to him. We talk about other things. We don't talk about TikTok.
All right, that's too bad, man. I was looking. Dude, first of all, thanks for doing this. Western Conference Finals, that was like a prize fight. That was like just a slugfest, can't miss TV, especially compared to the Eastern Conference playoffs, which have been just such a just buzzkill and just very little intrigue. What say you? How fun was that series to cover just because there was so much back and forth, so much kind of a chess match going on?
No, it was the most explosive series I covered, and being around that team a few years now, like I've had some good ones. Like the Dallas series a couple years ago was a really good one. Obviously Indiana, Denver, like they've had some crazy series, but that one you knew. Just there was the build up from the regular season, just how the Spurs had their number then. But like this guy being out one game, this guy being out
Right.
2 games, like it added to it. And the basketball is great. Like I've never seen any team defend Shea that way. I've never seen your Minnesota guy, Chet Holmgren, folded in a way I've never seen. Like there were some real developments that came from that series.
So now there's two aftermaths come out of this thing to me. You brought up the Chet thing. Does Chet become the guy that all of a sudden? And I don't think I'm not saying he's on some Ben Simmons path by any means, because I know Chet a little bit, and I know his makeup, and I know what he'll take personal and what he won't. And I just don't think he's that guy that's just about to kind of fold. And I just don't. I'd be shocked if this becomes a Nick Anderson at the free throw line or a Ben Simmons yips or whatever it is. That was one big development. The other development that I thought, do we look at the Thunder completely different now than we did maybe 2 weeks ago, where all of a sudden you brought it up? The regular season, there's this, you talk about Shea, MVP, the depth, what he's built there. They kind of lose to Dallas a couple of years ago in the playoffs. Indiana takes them to 7, and now they've been deposited by Wemby and the Spurs, who are all barely drinking age. Do we look at them differently now than we may have 2-3 weeks ago as this up and coming dynasty? So both fronts, the Chet thing, and then the way you look at the Thunder now.
Yeah, I'll address Chet first. I agree with you. I've known Chet since our rookie years are basically the same because he had the red shirt year. And I learned then just how much he cares about the game, how intrinsically motivated he is. Like he is. I like to think against 28 teams, he's a dog. I don't think it's a Ben Simmons thing. I think
Right.
I do think he's gone out of his way to not make him versus Wemby personal, which like to a degree, I am not a basketball psychologist. I imagine at some point he's gonna have to take it personal and it's gonna have to be reflected in their series. But
Yeah.
he's such a team first guy. He does not want that to be a distraction. But Wembanyama has used those emotions, jealousy, and like these negative emotions, and used them to like fuel him in the game, and they don't carry over to off the court. Like he's learned to use them as a vehicle, and I think Chet kind of has to do the same if he harbors any of that. I mean, he has to at this point because when Miami's pushing him on the way to the huddle and doing all this other stuff, and then there's like actual like tangible basketball things that he needs to improve on, like being more aggressive in the spots he could flash to get the ball. His 3-point jumper, like his jumper has been slow to get off for a while now. And
Yeah.
I thought he worked on that this past year, but in this series you saw like they really did not let him get a shot up. And he really didn't try to. I mean, he got 2 attempts in that last game. And so like obviously Wemby is better than him at pretty much everything, but he has to close the gap to some degree, and especially like the mental warfare part of it. But you're right. I don't think it's a Ben Simmons thing. That's radical. I think they trust that he's gonna look at this summer and bury himself in the gym as a result of the series. And then as far as the shift in their outlook as a dynasty, dynasties, I've thought about this a lot because this was the sort of the view of the season for me. Could they be a dynasty? And the easiest way to sort of call them a dynasty was could they go back to back
Yeah.
and be the first team to do that since the Warriors. Um, I think it is really hard to repeat, especially now more than ever. I don't know if you agree with this, but the bar we've set for winning has kind of changed with every era. Like Bill Russell, obviously, like impossibly won 11 rings. Uh, Michael Jordan, we sort of give him the crown because he won 6 times with 6 tries. Kobe and Duncan won 5 times. We settled on that. That was a good bar for LeBron and Steph to chase. Who they settled at 4. It looks like they're probably done at 4. No star after them has even won. None of the
Yeah.
superstars we of this era have won more than one. And so it is difficult to repeat. Do I still think they have the best chance to win moving forward? Like, yes, absolutely. I think they're obviously the summer changes are probably going to be more motivated on like money management and stuff. But they'll get better around the fringes. I imagine. I would hope they keep Hardenstein for the sake of the bill. But like them and the Spurs to me are still the best contenders moving forward. They have a chance to win multiple times in this 5-year window, which to me by the way the sort of bar, the threshold for winning and sustained success has changed. I think two or three titles in a 5 to 8 year window would probably make them a dynasty by definition. It just didn't happen in back-to-back years. So will their perception change in the short term? Yes, but like it shouldn't be because they lost to the Spurs. I mean, like the Spurs are clearly a worthy foil, and they're only going to keep
Right.
mutating and getting better.
Last thing on the Thunder, then, I mean, you know that front office pretty well. Could you see them go into some kind of, I wouldn't call it a panic, but some kind of, okay, we've got a Wemby problem that needs to be solved. So we
Sure.
need to get involved with the Giannis trade. And we have the assets to go and get Giannis, whether it's Chet, whatever it is. Or do you think they feel like the margins aren't that wide where you need to panic and go ahead and say, all right, give us Giannis, who physically probably matches up the best with Wemby immediately right now?
Yeah, I think they are of the idea that if Jalen Williams played most of that series, the version of Jalen Williams that showed up in the Phoenix series before he got hurt again, obviously they were Jalen Williams more than anybody was frustrated with the way the year went because he played 32 regular season games, a handful of playoff games. Like um, this is a guy who played 70 games a year before this. Uh, I think they're of the belief that if he played most of that series, and if AJ Mitchell played most of that series, who clearly blossomed as sort of a pseudo star in these playoffs, uh, that they would have beat them. And so they're not overreacting nearly as much as the general public. And
Right.
they've never been a front office to sort of hit
There
the
you go. Yeah.
panic button and make these seismic changes. Giannis is a seismic change, because by the way, like none of these Giannis trades went down at the deadline because you have to curate this package that feels worthwhile. And by the way, a guy of that nature, who's still a top 5 player in the world, who has been a franchise's guy, that probably best player in franchise history for 13 years, 14 years, you don't get an adequate package for that guy. So you have to settle on something. And like, sure, they probably have the best assets, but it will take a chunk out of there. We won't look at them as the sort of this treasure trove of assets anymore.
Right.
Those will be gone, and I think they're leaning on that as the CBA changes and as these rules change, to sort of keep rotating because their top 3 is supremely expensive. Chet's extension kicks in next year. Dub's extension kicks in next year. They need to keep cost control guys. they're smart about drafting and bringing in guys who sort of yield to the system immediately. They need to be able to do that on rookie contracts and stuff like that. And dealing for Giannis, while it helps you compete in the next 2 or 3 years, um, it sort of takes you out of this endless cycle of reusing and recycling draft assets. So I don't see it happening personally.
The other thing too, I thought kind of got underplayed in Game 7, that a lot of people didn't talk about. You know, Wemby was solid. Castle was in a little foul trouble, but did his. I thought the key guy for San Antonio was De'Aaron Fox. He hit a couple key baskets to kind of stop some, but the ball handling, because I'm sorry, when Harper runs to a corner sometimes, Castle runs to a corner and makes it trap worthy. De'Aaron Fox just understands, you're not going to put me in a corner. Caruso, you're not going to bully me to a side so you can double team me. I'm going to split the double. I just thought his ball handling was a reminder of, if San Antonio thinks they're ready to move on without De'Aaron Fox and just say, well, Dylan Harper is a budding star, which I think he is, you got to pull back on that. You still need De'Aaron Fox, not only this upcoming series, but I think at least one more year before you could just pass the baton and say, you know, Dylan Harper or Castle, whoever your point guard is going to be. I thought Fox was huge as far as just keeping the ball safe and not letting runs become something that crushed you.
No, I agree, and I do think, like, obviously that's a storyline that's been easy to push. Like, oh, they can just unhitch the wagon of De'Aaron Fox because Dylan Harper is ahead of schedule. I'll tell you that. Like, Game 6,
right.
They stormed out to that lead because he was so poised and composed, and his shot making is crazy, and he's probably their best guard finisher, I'd argue, at least under the rim. He has some crazy contortion and layup packages. That being said, like, De'Aaron Fox did not have a great series, but Game 7, that fourth quarter, they responded as often as they did in that fourth quarter, probably because of him. He hit open threes, which is all you hope for out of him. He got paint touches. He took care of the ball, like you said, and that was really the reason. Like, the Spurs, that's been the reason the Spurs have been a clear foil for the Thunder all year, because they don't fold under the pressure of the Thunder's, chaotic defense. Like Minnesota has always done that. Denver eventually yielded to that. Like, the thing about this Thunder team, sort of their ethos was like, you knew they were going to get a 15-0 run every game at some point because they turned teams over. But that never happened with the Spurs, because they've got three not just capable ball handlers who could take care of the ball, three guys who can run offense individually if they need, which is like one more than any team in the NBA has. And so, like, eventually, like, Fox, yes, like, he is the most expensive. Our Sam Amick reported that there are no conversations about those sides separating, that they want to enjoy a happy marriage. And, like, Game 7 is like a good reason. Like, you have a 3-guard rotation. Sure, it maybe buries Dylan Harper a little bit, but you could easily, like, just swap them out in a given moment. And it's because they have the three offensive initiators that they are, like, a step ahead of most teams in the league right now. Plus, they got the big guy behind them. Like, that makes it impossible. Like, I know, like, Steph Castle, really high turnover in that series at times. But it's because of his on-ball stuff and Vic behind him that they were able to guard Shea in a way I've never seen. So, like, the Fox noise is, like, it's a little loud, but it shouldn't be. Not right now.
You now have, I'm guessing your attention now turns back to the Bulls.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be watching what the Thunder do this summer, but yeah, I'm back in Chicago now.
Yeah, so I think a coach search is about to happen. I'm saying probably by the end of this week, maybe early next week. Kind of feels like it's coming to that head. What is Bliss a serious candidate, and what do you know about him?
I don't know that he's at the forefront of the search. Last time I heard, but he was involved in the Phoenix process last year. I thought that would have been a good fit for him. Obviously Jordan Ott turned out to be the hire, and he's done good things in the first year instead of culture. But Bliss is interesting. He's sort of the defensive architect, if you will, of what the Thunder have done the past few years. Big guy who played at Georgia back in the day. He has worked most closely Like he was as recently as last year, sort of like, coaches have their the guys who they go through pregame warmups with, like Mike Wilkes does a lot of the guards in OKC. He'll do Shea and Joe. Eric
Right.
Maynard's on their staff. Eric Maynard will work with Kaysen and so on. Dave Bliss as recently as last year worked with Chet. He worked with the big man. He was sort of a big man whisperer, if you will, and a defensive architect. And obviously their defense has been heralded, and the metrics called them an all-time defense, and it has been that way for the past few years. Their stats a little weird where they don't. I don't know. They're individual guys that are staff don't get a lot of noise because they're all about this sort of ecosystem and
Yeah.
not one man above the other. But I can tell you, like, Bliss is known as this defensive mind, which has been a big deal, and it would be a hit if he left, I imagine.
What from afar, what have you either heard, liked, what people are saying about the it seems like the cloud has moved over the Bulls. Doesn't mean they're a good team, doesn't mean they're a good franchise. It just feels like the cloud has moved. It feels like sunny days ahead. Is that the perception you got from afar with either the Bryson Graham hire and then obviously having number 4, number 15, and in this draft specifically? I mean, what's your take on? Am I crazy? Because I am Mr. Positive. Am I crazy for feeling like the clouds have moved?
You do drink the Kool-Aid, but I will say, like, from afar, no, I got that feeling too. Like pretty quickly too. Like I came back home for a couple days to go to the combine,
right,
and just talking to people, like that was the sense I got. Like I think more than it being like, yes, I do think there are reasons to be encouraged, but more than anything, I think there are fewer reasons to be pessimistic than the last regime,
yes,
which is like there were fewer people that liked dealing with the last regime. There are fewer people that were confident in the dealings of the last regime. And this is a clean slate, and there are some encouraging hires early that make it seem like, hey, maybe this thing could turn around. And you give Bryson Graham a couple good draft picks that maybe say, hey, maybe the universe isn't punishing the Bulls for their history in the last regime. Maybe they're giving this guy a truly clean slate. Like it does feel almost universal, that is going in the right direction. People like, generally in talking to people like Bryson Graham. Like people appreciate his story. People have dealt with him over the last several years and enjoyed dealing with him. So like I would agree, Joe. Like I don't know if I'm as positive as you, but generally, I mean, not about this, but generally, you are Mr. Positive. But
I am Mr. Positive.
I've gotten the same sense though, Joe.
What would you like to see them do? I mean, number 4, the way it's shaping up, it very much feels like.
Let's talk about 4. Let's talk about 4.
It feels like number 4 basically is there's 4 guys, you're going to get the 4th guy. Mm-hmm. And it's not, and you're gonna go to sleep well that night because of who that guy is. Who do you like when you went to the combine? Who do you like it for? It almost feels like initially, which I don't get because I love Boozer, and it felt like Bulls fans, if Caleb Wilson goes to Memphis, it's almost like it's a consolation prize that they got Boozer. I don't see it that way. I think Boozer, to me, is, they talk about, well, the athleticism. I think he's athletic enough. And I'm watching the league and I'm like, okay, well, who's your great athletes in the league right now that are dominating? Joker, Luka. I'm not known as great athletes. It's an IQ game right now, especially with how many different defenses teams can throw at you and different looks and the chess match you have to play. What say you on those top 4 guys, whether it's Peterson, DeBonsa, right down the list?
Mm-hmm. Let's hit on Peterson last. DeBonsa, let's not even bother. He's not going to 4.
No.
I will say I'm torn on a lot of things when thinking about Cam Boozer and Caleb Wilson. What I'm not torn on is that I do think Cam Boozer off rip is a better player.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's what people are arguing either. It shouldn't be what they're arguing. I think we have this way. And I credit Mike Smith because he's been on from what is publicly available of his theories. This has been something he's been on for a while. To your point, like we have this weird thing about projecting using athleticism, like up and down athleticism, as the projector for how can we mold this guy? How much of a clay ball is he?
Yeah.
Uh, and we do that instead of like skill set. Like what is the skill set there? Like that's why people I think were wrong on Shea. And obviously some of these guys we're naming are like one of one. Like it takes luck to get a Jokic. Luca had at least a couple teams that doubted him because he did not
Yeah.
go number one. Shea went back lottery. Like I think we should focus on skill set. That being said, that's not me like crapping on Caleb Wilson. Like I think Caleb Wilson would be great at 4. And for where Bryson Graham is starting, like we know Bryson Graham's slap principles. Frankly, I thought it was preposterous for AK in the last regime to talk about, well, now they were talking about a pivot from focusing on offense. They're like, now we're gonna work on defense this year. That's what they said last summer. And you didn't even need one hand to count the number of like good team defenders on a team. Like the team defense was starting from ground zero. And so like that's where Bryson Graham's at right now. Like he needs rim protectors, he needs team defenders, he needs athletes. And so Caleb Wilson fits that mold. He's an explosive athlete. He tries to time blocks and steals, and generally he's good at it, and he can play above the rim. He's a play finisher. Like the bottom line is you need talent, and he is talented. So you really can't go wrong at 4 here. But I do think some of the things getting lost in the Boozer Wilson argument to your point are like, dude, like Boozer is 6'9". I believe I don't remember what the measurements were at the combine, but 6'9". He's playing in the pick and roll as the ball handler. I imagine Bryson Graham having been in, and by no means am I saying that that Cam Boozer and Zion Williamson are even remotely similar players. But Bryson Graham's experience in New Orleans, I imagine, has him appreciating the value of an inverted pick and roll.
Yeah.
And Cam Boozer offered that. And he was a great rebounder. And his footwork is there. Footwork and positioning under the rim does matter. And so those are some of the things that Cam Boozer has going for him. Obviously, he does not get you the head start to building a team defense to me that Caleb Wilson does, but it's about priorities, right? And frankly, you just want to grab what talent's there. But Caleb Wilson, the appeal for a team that wants to build a defense is obvious. And then also but he does have his question marks about his 3-point volume was like disgustingly low. He's gonna have to extend his range. You're gonna have to find ways to use him inside the arc immediately. I don't know about Giddey's long-term fit here under Bryson Graham, but like how do they fit immediately if that's going to be a thing, which should like be very low. His fit with Giddey should be very low on the totem pole of like issues. But that's kind of the way I see those two. Like I do think I don't like the way the conversation is trending about Cam Boozer in Chicago, but both would be talented and both would be. I think Bryson Graham would be similarly happy with either one. But I do think we sort of I don't understand the amount of eggs we're putting in the basket of up and down athleticism. As explosive as Caleb Wilson is and as exciting as an inside the arc guy he is, like I think we should focus on skill set as well. And then
what was your thing on Peterson now?
Right, Peterson. Peterson, I understand the concerns from during the year and the health stuff and the creatine and whatever. You can't not call it unusual, right?
Right.
But if you describe this guy to anybody without his name attached, a guy who is 6'5", 6'6", who can play on the ball this year, and how little they were able to use him because of his ministering, he can now play off the ball better than he had before he got to school.
Right.
So on ball, off ball, can operate the pick and roll at a really high level, can throw lobs, can play. He's not an above the rim guy, but he can play above the rim.
He's got some explosiveness. Yeah,
he's got some explosiveness.
Yeah.
Is not just a shooter, but a versatile shooter. Off dribble, moving, midi pull up, standstill three. Has this sort of versatile shot making package. can do all these things and has the length to be like a good team defender. If you describe that guy to anybody, why are we talking about him slipping past two?
Yeah.
You that guy, that mold wouldn't slip past two in any draft. And so like I do think while some of the health stuff was legitimate concerns, I think people like the guy didn't tear his ACL, man. Like this is
No,
stuff
no,
you
no.
figure out and move on from.
Yeah.
And so like I think Bulls fans should be thrilled if that guy falls to four
Falls
for
to
whatever
four.
reason. And like sure, like you are right, you are within your right to question if he falls, if the momentum from now to 3 weeks from now, if he's projected as two, and then on draft night he suddenly falls to four, you are within your right to question that. But I think the Bulls are within their right to draft that guy and let him run the offense and say, do what you do. Let's see what you're really working with.
Because I think there's big enough bodies. There's some guys I would like at 15 if it goes that way, where Peterson, Peterson, and there's some guys, even if they get Caleb Wilson, I'm still like, if Mara falls to 15, which I don't think he will at all.
I don't think it will, yeah.
But if he falls to 15, I'm like, okay, I'll grab another big guy for this front court. So, and then what say you at 15? I mean, we brought that up. This to me, this draft, because I don't know where Kareem Lopez is going to go, if he is going to creep up to 11 or 12.
It seems like, yeah. Well, I've heard top 10 shouts. So
and that's to me, that's the interesting one, because to me that then bumps, at least I've got it. I feel like it's a 16, 17 guy draft where I'm like, any of these 17 guys I'm happy with. After that, you're still getting a talented guy, but to me, it's more of a crapshoot. What say you at 15? Is it dependent on what they do at 4, or are they in a situation where you just grab best available player? It doesn't matter at 15.
It's best available player to me because, again, you have so little talent on this team and so many question marks and so many guys that are probably not Bryson Graham's guys. And so, like, to me, if I was a GM, Bryson Graham doesn't have to listen to this at all. I'm trying to build a defense. Like that's a harder thing to do to me than turning an offensive identity. And I do think there are some guys in that range who make for an intriguing, like, initial defense in the Bryson Graham era. Like Morez Johnson out of Michigan is positional versatility, a tweener, a guy to, like, I imagine OKC's going to take a look at, because, like, for all the talk about, like, needing more bodies for, like, a potential Wemby long-term matchup, like, that guy can scale up, he can scale down, he's aggressive, and then my guy from Kentucky, I don't know why I'm blanking on his name. Oh, Dayton Quaintance.
Yeah.
He's fat. His measurables, I don't remember the exact measurables, but they were fast.
He's a freak.
He's a freak,
man. Yeah.
He's a freak. He's like 6'10". That's the guy. Like, if you want, like, a rim protector, like, project for the future, like, you want someone twitchy like that. You just hope that he becomes, like, ideal pick and roll guy. But, like, the floor as a rim protector, assuming health and whatever, like, it's pretty high already just off measurables and instinct and twitchiness and athleticism. Like, he's got it, man. Those are if you're trying to build a defense and you're, like, in that range, like, I would be very happy in that range if I was a GM trying to build a defense.
All right, before I get you out of here, I told you I got a little surprise for you. So last year, I'm like a day trader. I'm Joey Business. Last year, invested in, we're talking cards now, sports cards. So if you want to tune us out. But last year,
or if you hate to hear it, Joe Wynn, tune us out.
My big investment last year was Con Knippel. We know that. And here's the thing. Like, I was sitting on VJ Edgecombe. I'm like, I don't know about him. His card was like 60, 70. And I don't like doing that. I like $40 and under on eBay or whatnot, whatever you want to use. VJ was sitting about 50 or 60. I'm like, let's hold. Go to Summer League, his first Summer League game. That card, I think he put up 30-something. Whatever he did in that freaking Summer League game, forget it. The card's gone. You're done. If you're day trading cards like I do, all right, so I went big on Con Knippel, loved everything about Knippel. I probably sold 3 of the Knippel cards I bought for 10 times the amount. That's fine. All right, so my guys. I told you my guys this year. My guys that you can get cheap. Braden Burries, you get him cheap. 20
Sure.
bucks autograph.
Yeah.
Another Braden Burries. Get my other guy, Mikael Brown. Love him. 1 of
Yeah.
25. Cheap.
Yes.
You get him
1 of
cheap.
25.
Grab him now.
Wow.
That's 1 of 25. The other day, you know me, I'm not a big pack guy. I'm like, there's one pack left. And for those that don't know, Joel is the cooler. If you want to open a bad box, have Joel around you. He's the cooler.
Right. You need to preface this by saying that I have the worst luck in history.
The worst luck. It's hilarious.
And you have the best of anyone.
I don't have the best. There's some guys that have but I have pretty good. I'm a last box guy. I'm in Target buying ice and oil for my Blackstone grill. Last box of Bowman basketball. I'm like, all right, let's rip it. I get home. Autograph Darren Peterson.
You've got to be.
It's off center though. It's not centered great.
Dude,
but that's
what is this numbered?
Yeah, 102 of 150.
I can't, man. I can't, dude.
And I'm not even he's got a smooth autograph too. He puts the 22 at the end. He better get that number 22. Yeah, I was like, oh, I saw the blue and I'm like, shit, I think I hit something. And I pulled it back. I saw the Kansas logo first and I'm like, oh, because there's another Kansas guy that they put in there. I'm like, please, please, please. And then I saw the auto. I'm like, my guy's going to be so pissed.
I think people don't understand. Like, I'm pulling, like, the times I am pulling a number.
Would you get like a number Jaden Ivey?
I'm getting a number Jaden Ivey. I'm getting a hologram Io DeSumo. Like, I'm not getting anything. And this guy's pulling autograph for Darren Peterson, and he has this crazy ass collection. And frankly, I'm out the card game. Like I had my little run.
Come on, we'll get you back
I'm out
in
the
it.
card game. I was never a gambling man to begin with, but god damn, I think I have to be done.
No, you're in a cold spell. You're due. You're due.
Spell, it's existed since the day I began. I don't think that's a cold spell. I think they call that no talent.
All right, you're going to be doing the draft at the Advocate Center?
I imagine, yes, I will be. Yeah.
All right, I can't wait to catch up. You're my guy. You know that. Thanks for
G,
doing this, my man.
Yes,
I'll talk to you soon. All right, my man. Thanks, Joel. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. I mean, that Western Conference series was a good old-fashioned Ali Frazier, just Hitman and Sugar Ray, just prize fight. Just let's go. It was great. All right, let's get to Kali Island. Love the fact that Joel, fresh off of that, he's probably exhausted. Those series they wear on you. When you got to go back and forth, back and forth. I remember the Sun-Times, they used to throw me on the finals. I did LeBron's first championship finals, and then I did the Spurs Heat the following year. And those Western Conference finals, Eastern Conference finals, and NBA finals are a grind. So I appreciate him coming on. The rant. Bulls fans, all people cried about the last 2 years is you got this 25. Well, those that know basketball, there's these idiots that don't believe in tanking, the non-tankers. A lot of them are mouth breathers and don't understand things, and you have to explain it to them, and they think they're flat earthers. You have to explain a lot of things to them. We don't need to go on Spurs and tanking and how they've executed to perfection, but you finally get number 4. There's some tanking. The tanking was going on too late. You get number 4. You have number 15 because Portland just grinded and got hot and figured it out. So you got their pick in a loaded class. You missed the 25 class. You were dumb and you missed the 25 class. But you got the 26 class. 27's not great. 28's not great. Maybe some guys reclassify. Maybe some guys grow 3-4 inches. But these were the 2 classes to hit. And all you read is Bulls fans trying to move up, move back, talk to OKC. Do they send us Chet? Blah, 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 blah. Take the win. Stick at number 4. I mean, obviously you have a chance to move up to number 1 and get to Bonsa. That's fine. but I don't know if I'm giving up 15 for him because I don't know if the gap is that large. And I keep stressing this. This might be the second or third rant I've done on this. I don't understand why Bulls fans continue to have something great and want to give it away and chase something either, oh, get more picks. OKC's got 3. Let's back up and get more picks. That'd be the dumbest thing you can do. Because if OKC is making that trade, they're smarter than you and they're telling you they're smarter than you. Don't even pick up the phone from anything OKC related. Do not block the call. I don't get it. If they move up from 15 to 11 because there's really a guy and it's giving you some of your second round picks, okay, but I don't think that's happening. I don't think people with the new draft rules, I don't think second round picks are very collectible anymore. What are we doing? Stick at 4 and 15, shut your mouths and enjoy the freaking ride. All right, let's get to the list. Wemby is the face of the league. We've established that. Casey Johnson and I were in Paris for the Bulls. I think it was Pistons, maybe in the Paris game 3-4 years ago. Wemby was courtside. We got to walk by him and see this guy, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know if he's going to make it in the league. He's very skinny. He's made it. And we got, again, seeing a 17, 16-year-old guy, whatever he was at the time, courtside, 17, long and skinny. I'm like, I don't know if physicality, he can take it. I didn't know the skill set. No one did. We now know. He's the face of the league in 3 years. 3 years. So we're talking right now is 26. So I'm talking by the 29 season. He's the face. Who are the other 5 guys that I think are going to be the faces of the league that could kind of contend with him? One of them is going to be on his team, which is a problem. Unless, who knows? Maybe there's a trade. Number 5, I still think Shea has at least 3-4 more years in what he does. Because what he does is he is a master painting art. To have that mid-range, DeMar's mid-range was great. To watch him just be a mid-range maestro. It's such a lost art, and Shea, to me, still has 3 more years where you're like, damn. Number 4, Cade Cunningham. He's a one-man show. He needs help. I think his skill set, his size, what he does, the way he sees the floor, his off the court just kind of makeup, just a winner. Got to get the right pieces around him, obviously, but I think he's number 4. Number 3, I like this kid a lot, and I think he's going to go in a situation where he doesn't have to be the face for year 1 and 2 with the Wizards, and year 3, he kind of explodes on because the guys that gave him the baton kind of age out or are moved, and that's AJ DeBonsa. I love his talent. I think he is phenomenal. Number 2, I think Steph Castle is a freaking two-way Jimmy Butler type, just dog. The ultimate complementary piece to Wemby. Sky's the limit for him. I just think his size, his mentality, the way he guards Shea, the way he guards everybody, just relentless. You could put him on Ant. I don't consider Ant top 5 because I don't think Ant wants it. And I'm over the whole Ant. Is he the future face of the league? Really great. Great player. Every team would love to have him. Doesn't make my top 5. You want to put him in yours? Get your own damn podcast. Steph Castle, another West guy, Western Conference guy. Number 1, Cooper. To me, if they build this right, maybe Darius Acuff falls to 9, and they've got this explosive guard with these rim protectors, Lively, guys like that around him. And then Cooper, perfect match. I don't think Acuff will fall that far, but again, I think Acuff's a system guy, needs to fall that far. But Mikal Brown, whoever, Burries, whoever they get, a great complimentary piece. Keep building this thing out. Get the right coach in place. I think Cooper flag. It's going to be – I can see the OKC thing still hanging on for a while like Joel talked about, but I think Dallas is going to be in that mix too. And to be able to watch Dallas, OKC, and San Antonio in 3 seasons just duking it out, great basketball. So that's it. Those are my top 5 guys. You got 5 of your own. Too damn bad. And until next week, thank you so much, Joel. You're my guy. Can't wait to see you and catch up. Joel keeps me young because my ass is getting old. But until next week, unless there's a coaching search, we do emergency podcast. I got next.